Welcome to a new episode of Real Estate vs. Technology. I'm your main host, Norman Kinsey. Welcome to our brand new series. If you don't already know, we have a brand new series featuring individuals on YouTube maximizing their YouTube channel to be able to get additional exposure online outside of maybe traditional facets of marketing your real estate business. So let's go ahead and bring the one and only Mr. Dan Gandy, our co-host on the show. What's up, Dan?
What's up? What's happening? Glad to be here.
Hey, man, likewise. Is it freezing for you over there in Oregon? Because it's freezing over here in Arizona, man.
If it is freezing, that's why I'm in a hoodie. It's like 32 degrees out. So.
Dude, it's been, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like everyone is dealing with a little bit of cold out there. If it's been cold in your area, drop a comment below, and we'll see you here in a second. Welcome to a new episode of Real Estate vs. Technology, your number one resource to get the inside scoop from top performing real estate professionals. How are they growing their business utilizing technology in today's market? Hear also from top performing coaches that can help and serve you in your real estate business, and also technology providers. Let's go deeper with these technology providers to ask them how they got where they're at today and how maybe their services could better serve your real estate business. A big shout out to Liftoff Agent for sponsoring our podcast. Go ahead and go to liftoffagent.com to learn about their marketing and positioning services to help scale your real estate business. If you haven't already done so, like the episode, subscribe. We want you to comment on YouTube what you learned from the episode and give us a review if you're going to be listening and streaming this podcast. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, and enjoy this week's podcast of Real Estate vs. Technology. All right, welcome back, Dan. And we're super excited because the individual we have here is from Los Angeles, and he's doing things a bit differently with his YouTube channel, showcasing these celebrity homes, which are pretty amazing. So we have the one and only David on the show. Welcome to Real Estate vs. Technology.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. Of course. So before we got on air here, you talked about how, acting and being in Los Angeles and wanting to do things different as real estate is your bread and butter. But let's talk about the beginning. Like, why real estate from the beginning? Like, why did you even want to get into real estate? Is that just because you want to do acting full time, or you've always done both? Or how does
it's funny. I got into real estate. I was working in the production side on an HGTV show. I'm Canadian, so I was in Toronto. And I kept getting sucked into production and working behind the scenes. It was so fun to work on a design show. So I was getting to know everything the designers were doing and seeing what the latest architecture and styles were. So I always had an interest in that. But I was a casting director, casting real people to, look at their ugly design. And then the designers came in and flipped the home and made it beautiful. And I just kept getting sucked more into the production world. And as an actor, I was like, well, I want to be the guy on camera. I want to be performing. So I spoke to another actor who was also a realtor, and he said he had sold like 6 figures in real estate back then. That was really good. Wow. Like gross commission income, did over 100,000. Wow. And also produced a fringe show, a stage show. Okay. And I was like, this is it. And so I got into real estate. So I studied and got my real estate license in Ontario. And that first year I sold in Toronto, there's a lot of condos. It's downtown. I sold 6 condos and booked like 4 or 5 commercials. And wow, that was it. I found my balance, and it was just fun because, when you're auditioning, you're not doing a lot during the day. So it was fun to go out with clients and sell condos, make real money for the first time in my life, and be able to have that time not being stuck in production where you have to be on set all day, or you're just a locations manager or whatever I was doing. I got to have my own time, my own schedule, and pursue, a career and an artistic pursuit.
Dude, nice. So that's super cool. It reminds me of like Ryan Serhant. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. So how did you get into like a YouTube channel and really start to think about like, how do you differentiate yourself and get into like doing these type of like celebrity focused kind of highlight videos? Like, how did you what was the idea that sparked the interest?
So I knew, like, just when I had listings, I would market them myself. So I would do these fun videos. If you see my channel, I did one where I rented a DeLorean. I had the full Back to the Future outfit on, and I go back in time because the listing was a house from the 60s that the seller lived into it until she was 104 and
Wow.
never changed anything. So I said, oh, this is such an interesting listing. We're going back in time. I need a DeLorean. And there's one that was, it's a exact replica of the Back to the Future DeLorean. So I rented it. It was $400. And I was like, oh, I can do this. And so I had my videographer that does my regular real estate videos, and he's an actor too. So he's like, yeah, let's have fun. So we did it where I go back in time. And then a friend of mine's a race car driver, and he had this old 70s era red Jaguar. So then I go back in time, and I'm like Mad Men, and I'm in this nice suit, and I go and tour the home, and then I go back to the future. So, and then when the market started changing, when interest rates started going down, everything dried up for me. And I was like, well, I have this YouTube idea. What else can I do if I don't have listings? Everyone loves celebrity homes. So I just started touring celebrity homes. So I think it was a matter of finding something to do, you know.
Yeah.
When the market slowed, I still want to have a presence, and everyone loves real estate porn. So let's explore together. And the big thing is like getting access to all these homes. I know there's some big YouTubers that tour the homes in person, but they don't tour all the homes. On the MLS, I at least have access to everything. So, you know, it's not the same as going inside. I understand that, but at least I can take you inside all of the homes that not everyone might have access to, like Mark Wahlberg's house is for sale. And, you know, getting access to that is probably low. So at least we get to go in it together and explore.
Yeah. And how does that process work? Like, do you call the listing agent and you're like, yo, I do YouTube videos. Can I get it in?
That's the thing. I want to get to the point where my channel's big enough and I can start going inside and having like a value proposition to that agent. But I'm just building my channel. I started with, you know, I was 40 subscribers. And then in a matter of 2 months, I'm at, I think, over 400 or something. So it's building, and I see it building. Yeah. The more content I put out, the more it builds. So yeah, I can see the, you know, the build. So yeah, eventually I want to get to monetized and then start doing tours and doing more of those fun marketing kind of creative videos. So I have a big idea for YouTube on kind of how I want to build out the channel.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it's you're in a unique market where I think that most people, they're just so Netflixed, and, you know, like they just see what's in Hollywood, like what's presented on the channel at 8 o'clock at night. But you having the boots on the ground, you probably see a unique way of filming that. And I think,
yeah, there's just so many interesting houses. The architecture here is like nowhere else. All the famous architects wanted to do, you know, experiments and stuff, and it's all here. So we get, like, every other day there's some interesting, not just celebrity home, an interesting architectural home. Yeah. There's so many, I love mid-century, and there's so many amazing, authentic mid-century modern homes here. And it's just fun to be able to either go in them or showcase them on my channel.
I mean, and it's going to sell. And I love all the thumbnails and what you're doing. And anyone who's viewing and listening, if you're thinking about a creative way to differentiate yourself in the Los Angeles area, like, this is super smart. And the cool thing is everyone has like their own spinoff and play on it. So David, your play will be completely different than Dan's or mine's or whoever. And I love that. I see the DeLorean here. That's so cool. And
yeah, I just, awesome. Part of real estate too, for me with residential, I don't do commercial. I'm more of a relationship building. That's the other thing I want to pursue when I got into this business, is building long-term relationships and helping facilitate someone buy a home versus, oh, I sold 100 units, I got to sell 120 next year. I don't think that way. So I'd rather have, you know, 12 sales of really good quality clients that are happy and have more of a concierge style business. So that's kind of how I'm pursuing it, bringing my personality. And that's what I'm trying to do with the YouTube videos, and slowly bring in my personality and have fun. I mean, I know it's so stressful, and I'm extremely professional and anal retentive about paperwork and all that, but it's still fun to look at homes and the relationships you build with people when they're so happy with their purchase. So I try and combine those two.
I love that.
I think too that your potential to get your view count and your sub count up is uniquely different because of your film, experience, right? And having the right angles and just the right production in mind. But also, I was going to say, like, it's kind of like these. The best way to say it is like Hollywood's real estate business, or Beverly Hills, Malibu, pretty much anywhere in LA, right? There's this like opening of the curtains that people really want to see. Yeah. And I think as you build your separate playlist, like, here's all my mid-century modern houses, like this is all the luxury homes, these are all the celebrity homes.
Right.
That's going to have a huge potential to get you massive business.
That's a good idea. I'm trying to, I was kind of all over the place when I started kind of doing the reviews where what's the least expensive home in Beverly Hills? And it's like 1,000 square foot home for over, I think it's $1.7 million. So it's just nuts. Like, wow, man, you don't get a lot for over almost $2 million, 1,000 square feet. So like just trying to, itemize different things. Like, let's look at the least expensive home in Malibu or a channel of mid-century. It's a great idea. Actually, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
We
always value. I love that. I got an interesting question for you, David, because like we hear it in the market, and I've been hearing this more and more. And the consensus is that like from traditional TV and TV shows to now streaming, right? Things have completely shifted. And now from you having an actor background and, and doing things in Los Angeles and seeing the traditional side of how that works as far as going on auditions and having your scripts and all that type of stuff. So now this world of YouTube and streaming and going viral on TikTok and like, how do you see like things shifting from like how it was to like now things going on YouTube? Because I've heard people even saying that YouTube is it's going to crush Netflix. It's going to crush all traditional TV in a sense where it's coming from the standpoint of like, you, David, are on, right? Filming, doing your thing, and you're not getting paid for it, right? Like indirectly you will, but you're not getting paid for it. And then YouTube doesn't pay you. It's the AdSense, and they're just a middleman compared to like the millions of dollars of production to produce something. And you're talking about producing something. A lot of these videos are just your time, whatever that's worth, right? Which is practically free. So what's your thoughts on that as far as seeing from the mass production of $1 million to $10 million, $50 million set to like a free YouTube video and like how...
Right. I guess I get the bigger picture is as I build my channel, I can use that for more value proposition to my clients where look at the reach I have. You could do an ad spend in the LA Times and it costs so much, but I have a YouTube channel with thousands of viewers, hopefully one day, and I can help you reach more people than putting it in the LA Times where, they might not look at the real estate section where I have all these people. So I do see how you could really maximize YouTube specifically once you build up a following. And that's what I'm very keenly aware of that, where, if I have a couple subs, I'm not going to have a lot to bring to the table in that respect. But once I get my channel up, that'll definitely be something I bring to the table in a listing presentation and say, hey, don't worry about spending money on YouTube or Facebook ads or whatever, which I still do. Like I try and cover all social media, but this is like, I'm producing my own thing. It's different. It's like, do you want to be on TV essentially? And we can cover so many more channels or get more eyeballs with that. So it's just, I guess the biggest thing is how do you maximize your channel when there's so many different real estate channels? So that's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you kind of bubble to the top?
I can share.
I love that.
Let's talk about that.
I want to hear.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of what's missing, we all know that YouTube is the biggest search engine in the country, in the world. But I think for so long, real estate websites and real estate just marketing in general was based upon IDX, buyer search registration, and seller home valuation registration, and putting dollars into those, which is still not a bad technique. You close deals all the time with it, but localized search engine optimization and being able to actually utilize videos in your SEO is the difference between rising to the top and then like having to be found by chance on YouTube. And I always try to share that with everybody, is that when people are searching Beverly Hills, modern century, mid-century homes, like you have to really do all the research and say, okay, I want to start shooting videos with good keyword headlines and content. And we've been able to do that in my market, just in a couple specific niches, both relocation and probate. And we rank on the first and second page of Google. So
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's just a little bit of strategizing and then a little bit of research, and then setting up your playlist plan on what you're going to shoot based upon those specific elements to start increasing that SEO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our clients.
I'm still learning. So it's like, I'm absorbing everything you're saying. It's like, oh, okay, done. Like, yeah.
Oh, I love that. And that's for our viewers and listeners too, right? Viewers and listeners out there, these are all things you could definitely take notes on to be able to maximize for your business as well. And David, as we get close to closing out here, curious about what is the goal? So are you looking for subscribers, more views, more videos you want uploaded? So if we have you back on this time next year, which we would love to, when you have thousands of views, is that?
Yeah, I want to be monetized by next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
so anyone who's listening, monetizing is 1,000 subscribers, just FYI, 1,000 subscribers and over 10,000 hours of watch time. So I think it's 10,000 or 4,000.
40,000, I think.
40,000. Oh, it's up. Yeah. 40,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My goal is to be monetized. And I was trying to think of that when I started kind of doing these. It's fun because I love looking at interesting homes, and it's cool. Oh, you know, Mark Wahlberg owned this home, or Dr. Dre sold his Malibu beach house. So it's kind of neat to go behind closed doors. But I guess what was my end goal is hopefully to just kind of become more of that go-to guy. It's like, oh, you know about all these homes. You've researched them. I've seen them. I've been in so many more homes. I've learned about so many more architects and designers than I ever have in the last 4 months, just going into that next kind of level. And so for me, it's educational for me to bring to my client, and hopefully to start kind of bringing awareness to people that are searching. Oh, David knows about this. Let's call him. So I guess it's lead generation is one big goal. Becoming a YouTuber or famous YouTuber, no, I'm trying to be realistic, but just to kind of stick in my lane and explore that and get to play, because that's the biggest thing. It's just fun to play on camera. And so for me, that's also part of, you know, the balance that I spoke about at the beginning, was getting to perform and do real estate. And like, to me, that's always been the goal.
I love that.
And to finish this out, just like one last thing for me. I looked it up. It's 1,000 subscribers to your channel and 4,000 hours in the past 12 months. So it is obtainable, all my friends, to do it. And you can do it too. But I was going to say that you have a unique perspective, I think, in the market. And I think you building a hub and a resource guide and all of those resources that people that bring value to David, right, is so much YouTube video, but also so much what you offer. And I think that presenting that and getting them the call to actions that you put into these videos is really going to create that ecosystem where, when it's design, it's architecture, it's the agent who really respects this. I think that's what's going to bring value to you over the long term. So
I hope so.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. And in closing, we like to end out with anything, David, you want to leave for our viewers and listeners. Maybe there's someone that has no videos, no views, hasn't even started a YouTube channel, or maybe just has 1 or 2 videos out there from your experience on YouTube. I see that, you know, your very first video was like 5 years ago. What would be some suggestions, thoughts, and ideas as we close out for our viewers and listeners?
Quality of video, number one. Before I launched my channel, I spent 2 weeks just doing a proof of concept testing, watching hundreds of videos about building a studio and lighting and cameras. So I think quality, but you don't have to go crazy. I didn't spend a ton, but quality of video and consistency. I was just trying to get a lot of videos out. If you put one out every month, you're never going to build your channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I think consistency and quality are the big, and just have fun.
I love that. I love that. So have fun out there, consistency and quality. David, we appreciate you being on today's show. As always, it is our pleasure to have new guests and feature individuals, have them come back on, see how they're doing. So we'd love to have you back on this time next year. I think that'd be awesome to see if you hit that monetize goal, because
he's going.
You're going to do it. It's only 4,000 hours in 12 months at the beginning of the year.
I totally think I'm going to.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you, David. Dan, thanks for co-hosting as always.
Yeah, great to meet you, David.
Thank you. Nice meeting you guys.
And thanks to all our viewers and listeners, as it is our intention for you to take things from our show to apply to your business, have more massive success. And we will see you on the next one next Monday for our YouTube Influencer Series. Take care.